This is the testing video for the NEA Pente Computer player. Test number 1, launching the program. This should cause the menu to appear with all the options available. As you can see, all the options are available, therefore it passes the test. Test number 2, selecting a non-occupied tile in the grid. This should place a stone of the correct colour inside the correct tile and then switch to the next player's turn. So if I select this tile here, it should place a black stone inside this tile, which it does correctly. Test number 3, selecting an occupied square in the grid. This should not allow the user to place a stone and not create any errors. So if I place a black stone in this square and then try and place a white one on top of it, it doesn't allow me to, therefore also passing this test. Next, test number 4, clicking outside the grid. This should not allow the user to place a stone and shouldn't cause any errors. Now, if we try to place outside the grid, we can't place any stones, but it also doesn't cause any errors, therefore also passing this test. Test number 5, alternative moves when one player makes a move. This should cause the move to switch between the players and therefore also the colours of the stones. It does this and therefore also passes this test. Test number 6, min-max levels changing the recursion depth. When different levels of min-max are selected, the program should change the recursion depth. Here I've added a breakpoint at the base case of min-max and a watch on the depth. After selecting easy and making the first couple of moves, you can see that the depth is 1. After doing the same for hard, you can see that the depth is 2, therefore passing this test. Test number 7, Pente move rules. After making the first move in the center of the board, the bot should make the move at least 3 places away. As you can see, it has done this, therefore passing this test. Test number 8, min-max move defense. If the player is about to make a move that will result in the game being won, the min-max bot should be able to detect this move and block it in favor of any other move. In this position, I was about to make 5 in a row, however min-max blocked it, therefore it has passed this test. Test number 9, min-max move winning. If there's an opportunity to make a winning move, the min-max bot should take it before taking anything else. In that game state, min-max had the opportunity to win via capture and it took the opportunity, therefore passing this test. Test number 10, min-max offense. If there's an opportunity to make a capture that is beneficial for the min-max bot, they should take it. As you can see in this position, the min-max bot could make a capture and it has decided to, therefore it has passed this test. Test number 11, the scores displaying and calculating. If there's a capture made in the game, then the score should increase by 2 for the player that made the capture. The current scores should be displayed at the top of the screen whilst the game is being played and in the center of the screen when the game is finished. Now if I make a capture here with white, that should increase white's score by 2. And if I do the same with black up here, that should increase black's score by 2. Now if I end the game, you should also see black and white score here, which you do, therefore the test is passed. Test number 12, the resetting of variables. All variables of the game should be reset. This includes the scores of both players and the current state of the board. The game's over and white scores 2. And if we click again and start a new game, white scores back to 0 and the board's clear, therefore the test is also passed. Test number 13, 5 in a row, vertical, horizontal and diagonal. This should cause the end of the game, which it does. This should cause the end of the game, which it does. and this should cause the end of the game, which it does. Test number 14, captures vertical, horizontal, and diagonal should all work. This is vertical, which works. As you can see, all of these captures have worked, therefore it's passed this test. Test number 15, min-max operation. This is ensuring min-max works as expected. As you can see, min-max is making moves against me, therefore it has passed this test. Test number 16 is the random move player operation. As you can see, after the random move bot has been selected, it's choosing random moves and making them. Therefore, this has passed the test. Test number 17 is the limit for placing pieces on the board. All normal functions at the edge of the board should work. As you see, you can place. You can also make captures. And you can also get 5 in a row. Therefore, this is passed. Test number 18 is just selecting the players to play against from the menu. As you can see, all of these are functions, therefore it has passed this test. Test number 20 is resetting the game. This happens when the game's ended and the player's clicked anywhere on the game over screen. As you can see, I'm back to the main menu, therefore this test is passed. Test number 21 is the performance of the bots. As you can see, each of these moves was made within 5 seconds, therefore it has passed this test. Test number 22 is UI clarity. When the user's playing, they should be able to clearly see the different colour zones, the grid lines and the menu options. On my menu you can clearly see and read all the text. And in the game you can clearly see the grid lines and the different colours. Therefore this has passed the test. Test number 22 is the performance of the game state. When changing to the board game state, it happens instantly. Same as when it happens to the changing to the game over state, and same when changing back over to the menu state. Therefore it has passed this test. Test number 24, this is testing the player versus player game state. As you can see, on the alternate clicks it places alternate colours. And when you get 5 in a row, the game over works. Therefore this test has been passed. Test number 25, resetting capture counters. After white has made 2 captures, therefore having a score of 4. After resetting the game and starting again, white has a score of 0, therefore it has passed this test. Test number 26, this is the invalid moves from bot. The bot should not be able to place a move in an invalid location. Now that a lot of the board has been covered, I'm going to check to see if any of the moves the bot makes are invalid. None of the moves that the bot made were invalid, therefore it has passed this test. Test number 27, min-max board isolation. I've added a breakpoint where it simulates the move. As you can see, the move has been simulated, and then the line afterwards, it gets set to none. Therefore, it has passed this test. Test number 28. Extended game stability, captures, and move validation. We're now at a later point in the game. If I make this move, it should still be able to make a capture here. This happens instantly. The same thing should happen for me making 5 in a row here. Which it does. Therefore passing the test. Test number 29. Extended game performance. Even when there are a large number of pieces on the board, performance shouldn't be too heavily impacted and still stay under 5 seconds between moves. Here, we're at a later point in the game being played, and after I make this move, it should take less than 5 seconds to respond. The bot has made its move in under 5 seconds and therefore has passed this test. Test number 30. Score consistency after captures. The score should only ever go up by 2 points per capture, no matter the situation. Every single time the score only went up by 2, therefore it has passed the test. Test number 31, rapid input stress test. For all the possible game states, rapidly clicking shouldn't result in the program crashing or lagging, and the function of any of the clicks should be made if they're on a button. As you can see, this has worked for all the game states and therefore it has passed this test.